Hi everyone, it's Luke from Inspired Gamer, and can you believe we are finally getting a Fairy Tail game? Yeah, it's actually happening. I mean, okay, there were a bunch of games released for the PSP and Nintendo DS in Japan, and there is a browser MMO if you are really desperate for a Fairy Tail fix. But now we are actually getting a proper game, and that's pretty cool. So let's break down why you might want to pick this one up. So this game is going to be a turn-based RPG, and I found that kind of surprising in the best possible way. Because as much as I enjoy my anime arena fighters and warriors games, we do get a lot of them. And it's refreshing to have an anime game that breaks the typical formula and gives us something different. And it's not just any RPG either, because this one is being developed by Gust, the team behind franchises like Arte Nellico, Knights of Azure, and most famously, the Atelier games. These guys are veterans when it comes to role-playing games, so it's safe to say that Fairy Tail is in good hands. The game begins around the Tenro Island Grand Magic Games arcs, and goes through to the Tartarus arc of the Fairy Tail story. And without giving too much away for those who haven't read the manga or seen the anime, this is a pretty interesting point for the game to take place in. Because long story short, it starts with the Fairy Tail Guild being at a bit of a low point and working to restore their reputation as one of the strongest guilds out there. And that's perfect, because it gives players a reason to invest in strengthening the guild, and you will be doing that by completing requests and increasing the guild's rank, but I'll get to that a little later on. Now, being a Fairy Tail RPG, you would expect a decent character roster, right? Well, it's actually pretty solid, featuring 16 playable characters. All the fan favourites you would expect are here, like Natsu, Lucy, Grey, Erza, Wendy, and Gajeel, as well as characters from other guilds like Sabertooth's Rogue and Sting, Mermaid Heel's Kagura, and the real draw, Blue Pegasus' Ichiya. Sorry to the Nab fans out there though, but he didn't make the cut. Maybe in the sequel? I'll post a list of playable characters down in the description if you want to see them all. So let's talk about the combat system. For the most part, it's pretty standard for a turn-based JRPG. You have your physical attacks, magic abilities, item usage, elemental strengths and weaknesses, buffs, debuffs, and you unlock more abilities as you level up. The usual, right? But there are a few things the developers have added to keep the combat feeling fresh. Enemies will be laid out on a 3x3 grid, adding extra strategy when it comes to deciding on the best abilities to use, as each of your moves will target certain squares on the grid. Next, you have a chain attack system. As you deal damage, a meter located at the bottom right of the screen will begin to fill up. Once it's full, the Fairy Tail symbol will begin to glow and you can initiate a chain attack. This attack allows you to combo together moves of each of your team members and then perform a devastating attack on all enemies. Another feature is the Awaken system. Basically, after one of your characters takes a certain amount of damage, they can enter into an awakened state. This gives them a temporary stat boost and allows them to access special moves that deal extra damage. Plus they get this blue glowy thing around them, and that's how you know things are going down. You also have access to incredibly powerful abilities known as extreme magic spells, like Makarov's Fairy Lore and Kana's Fairy Glitter. Plus, unison raid attacks will also be featured, allowing certain characters to combine their magic together to unleash some of the strongest spells in the game. Finally, I just want to point out the level of detail the developers have put into the combat. The animations are so well done, and you have access to all of the characters' most well-known spells. They even found a way to fit Plu into the game as a healing ability. But it's the little things as well, like, I almost lost it when I found out that Lucy Kick had made its way into the game. And then I totally did lose it when I saw Lucy getting washed away during her own summon of Aquarius. So, circling back to what I was talking about earlier, building up the Fairy Tail Guild. A good amount of the game will involve you putting together a team and undertaking missions from the guild request board. Here, you will be rewarded with money, items, and renown, which will help to improve your guild's rank. Speaking of which, there will be a ranking system that shows your current rank amongst the other guilds in the game. This is a nice touch that will help keep you motivated as you compete with the other guilds and bring Fairy Tail to the top. And as you increase your guild rank, you will gain access to more difficult requests and better rewards. Back at the guild, you can use your resources for things like upgrading your abilities at Levy's laboratory, buying extra items at Lizana's shop, and purchasing drinks at Kana's bar that will grant you temporary buffs. You will also have the opportunity to upgrade the guild's facilities, providing you with even better services and a way better looking guild. And for those of you feeling particularly brave, you can challenge the other guild members to one-on-one duels, which will be a ton of fun but also provide you with extra rewards. We might finally get a proper ending to that Erza and Natsu duel after all. After all the research I've done on this game, I think the thing that has impressed me the most is just how much effort the developers have put into making this feel like Fairy Tail. That sounds a bit vague, but just have a quick look at this. They have done such a good job at recreating some of the most iconic locations like the Fairy Tail Guild Hall, the city of Magnolia, and the city of Crocus. Not only that, but the world feels alive, seeing residents and other guild members out and about that you can approach and talk to. The character models and animations are looking great with plenty of detail put into them, and there are plenty of cutscenes giving you a chance to spend time with the other characters. The Fairy Tail humour is also very much here. The game will also feature some exclusive stories and character interactions that didn't appear in the anime or manga, giving fans a chance to experience something new. All of this attention to detail really adds up to be something I'm sure fans of the series will appreciate. Well, that's all I have on Fairy Tail the video game. I'm sure fans of the series will get the most out of this one, but even for non-fans, there's still a very solid looking JRPG to be enjoyed here. And who knows, it might even be a gateway into the world of Fairy Tail for some. The game is due out on the 31st of July for PS4, PC and Nintendo Switch. Thank you for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time.